Good, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Living. We're glad you guys could join us today. I'm Jim Fuller.
Good morning, Jim Fuller. I'm Peggy Burton, and I was just saying, I hope you've got a lot to say.
Well,
It's kind of sad right now, isn't it?
It is a little bit
Very sad.
We're obviously I'm in the anchor chair today, filling in for John Gray, and John's father-in-law passed away last night, and Mr. Bob Couch, who is
an icon in this community for so long.
Absolutely, an icon.
Historian. I miss his stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe
and
we'll show some of those one of
He'd
these
been ill
days.
for a long time, and Bob was a big-time player in the American Legion program here in Tullahoma for many, many years. Also, the First Christian Church, and
at Middle Tennessee State University, he always showed up at the football game where they honored the veterans.
Absolutely.
And anytime there was something to do about veterans, Bob was there.
He sure was, and was, really was such a great influence in my life. I'm a little bit younger than Bob, and the many years that I ran the American Legion, many times I would seek his counsel on various things that might have been a big problem for me, and he always seemed to know the answer. And in the 50 years that I've known Bob, he's one of the few people I could say that I have absolutely never heard him say a bad word about anybody.
Oh, I know. And one of my favorite things about Bob is how he wore a clothespin on his shirt, on his tie, and he had his notes there. And I thought, what a cool idea that is.
It's quite practical, actually.
I think when I first moved here in the 70s, he had that clothespin, and I met them right away. And wonderful people.
Yes.
I think he has pictures of Patton and a lot of people from the Second World War.
Yes, right.
I'd like to go through those.
And of course, his store, Couches in downtown Tullahoma, is certainly it's like a museum.
It's like a museum.
All sorts of treasure troves in there that are still yet to be discovered of items that he'd collected over the years.
Our condolences to the family.
Absolutely.
Wonderful family and a wonderful man. We'll miss him.
Yes, we will. And this weekend, I hate to force you into this, Peggy, but it's me.
Okay.
It's me and you.
It's just us.
It's just us.
We got to talk about it. What is it?
Well, this weekend high school football starts.
I know.
So,
high school football starts. How's
the
team this year? Are they ready and set to go? Do you know who they play first?
This is I don't know.
I don't either.
I knew that earlier.
I used to know all about that kind of stuff when my son played football.
Sure. This is always an exciting time of the year, though, for high school sports, especially football. Before you start, everybody has hopes of going undefeated. And,
sure.
Sure. So,
let's see.
It's kind of a rebuilding year for Tullahoma, but.
What was it Charlie Brown said? Winning isn't everything, but losing isn't anything.
Charlie Brown. I haven't thought of him in years.
I thought about Charlie Brown for a long time.
No.
And I want to give a shout out to the band, because the band is busy marching and getting ready for the first football game also. Mm-hmm. And your son-in-law has a lot to do with that.
Yeah. He is the band director, of course, at Tullahoma High Schools, and so.
And we appreciate the arts as well as the sports that we have here in our community.
That's a whole nother side of it too, because the people that are involved in the band, which is a big part of the pageantry of high school football or college football, they're pretty busy all throughout the season. I mean,
they're very busy.
They're doing that, and I think they have a number of competition things going on as well.
Yeah, and they have to get prepared also, just like the band, prior to school starting and everything, so that they're ready to march.
Yes.
And don't you think that the football players have had it kind of easy weather-wise?
They have, probably.
It's been a tremendously, fairly easy season this summer.
Hasn't been quite as hot as it is normally, although this.
There goes my phone. Sorry about that.
You're in big trouble when your phone goes. I hope I turned mine off before we came.
I forgot to turn it off.
But they probably can't hear it out here on the air.
Not.
So.
How you, John? But anyway, football is a big thing in this town, and we have a great set of coaches and a great set of players.
Right.
We wish
yes,
them
we do.
well.
Absolutely. And we'll be bringing you the John Olive Coaches Show here on Charter Channel 6 at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings, where you'll get a chance to see the game film from the night before. And get commentary from Coach Olive. We'll also be bringing you the Shelbyville Golden Eagles football team coaches show, and that comes on right after the John Olive show. So maybe, we're still not sure, but we might be able to bring you the Coffee County Red Raiders. We're not sure about that one just yet, but we definitely will be bringing you Shelbyville and Tullahoma. Shelbyville, of course, having an exciting, I know they're really excited because they returned most of their starters from last year's team and they were in the playoffs last year. So most of those guys are back.
Is that Shelbyville?
That's Shelbyville.
How about Tullahoma? Or do we have a lot of seniors? Having
to replace several key players, I think. John's in the studio now, and he's actually talked to John Olive, so we'll let him comment on that when he gets up here. So. Coffee County, by the way, also has a new football coach from Florida that's moved up here and took over the team. So I'm sure there's a lot of excitement.
A lot of new things going on over there.
Yeah, the Coffee County Red Raiders as well. So all that's coming up. It starts this weekend. College football starts next weekend. So there's a lot of optimism out there for Tennessee. And
I hope Middle Tennessee does well, since that's where I went to school.
They probably will.
Yeah. Hi, John.
Hello.
Let's have a hug. We're sorry. We're sorry about Bob.
Oh, well, thank you.
And we've just been discussing what a wondrous man he was, and how we'll all miss him. You okay?
Bob Couch was a very interesting and unique individual and a very wonderful person. And I guess if you could say having two fathers is being blessed.
Yeah.
I think it is. I had a wonderful dad. My dad passed early on, and Bob Couch was like another father to me.
Sure he was.
Probably one of the greatest men I've ever known. Bob was one of those kind of guys that when you're around him, it makes you want to be a better person.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
You're not a wiseacre when you're around him. Now, he had a great sense of humor.
He absolutely did. Yeah. But he was also could offer a lot of wisdom. And I mentioned this prior to you coming on, that in my tenure, there were a lot of at the Legion, there were a lot of trying times there. And I often consulted with Bob, and he always had a different perspective, perhaps, than I did. Yeah. And he could give you that advice without ever saying a bad thing about anybody. So.
He was a good man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he had he still has a cute little wife, and I'm so sad for Dot, because I know that she's very lonely thinking about it.
They had a wonderful long marriage, and Bob, 89 years old. He's been 90 this Christmas. He's a Christmas baby.
Yeah.
Christmas Day baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We gave him a half birthday party one time because we felt like in June or July, whichever it was, because we felt like he got shorted, because it's kind of hard to get your full present stuff when you got a birthday and a Christmas at the same time. So,
I never thought about that, but that's a great idea, because people that are born in December usually they don't get a fair shake when it came. Yeah, they don't get a fair shake.
So Jim Puckett, who was a dear friend and a wonderful person, sort of a trickster himself, we gave Bob a half birthday party and cut the Christmas tree in half and used the bottom half. Gave him a half a pair of shoes. We took a saw. I took a skill saw and sawed a pair of shoes in half. Gave him a half a tie.
I love
all the bowls on the table. It was of course summertime, so it was like barbecue and slaw and stuff. We got plastic bowls and cut them in half. And put cellophane around them.
Yeah.
And
that's hysterical.
Yeah, we just had, but
half of everything.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
I ran across a picture of Bob the other day that I had in my office, and you've probably seen this, but it was when they had some kind of jazzercise contest, perhaps.
Was he in it?
at the Legion. Yeah, and Bob shows up in this 1930s bathing suit or something. Stripes. Yeah, it had stripes on it.
I've seen a picture of him. I love that.
Well, he and Gene Boaz used to clown dive. Bob Couch has done an amazing amount of things. We think we're busy today.
Bob was
one of those guys. I mean, he was a Legionnaire. He was a Rotarian. He was a Mason. He was, you name it. He did it. He filmed all the high school football games on top of the old press box with a film camera.
Yeah.
involved in all things good, and was a busy man and a fun man and a funny man, and like you said,
and a good father,
and a wise man,
and a good husband.
Yeah, oh, very much.
And when
so.
our band used to play, he and Dot would dance. We loved that.
Loved to dance. They could dance and had a wonderful time, and we'll miss Bob. We'll miss Bob. I guess the one thing, and I told Philip what I want to do is this week we will seek out the Millennium Moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because Bob is probably our last, our most renowned Tullahoma historian.
Exactly.
And for years after, what was it, when it turned 2000?
Yes.
And everybody thought the world was going to come to an end. The computers were going to crash, and then the millennium, and so after it didn't, which Bob said, well, that's not going to happen. He still had a rotary dial telephone.
There you go.
It wasn't going back, Bob, no.
So I told Philip I want to find those millennium moments and bring them out and start replaying them.
Millennium.
They're timeless.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks,
history.
if you don't go back that far with living, we've been doing the show for about 22 years now.
You're right.
And Millennium Moment was a segment that Bob did about the history of Tullahoma in this area. Right. And he did it for 10 years, didn't he, John? And of course, Bob finally got to where he was a little bit too old to do that and stopped doing it. But those are great moments and great memories for all of us.
He did a wonderful job.
Absolutely.
And as Bob would say, at the end of each one of those things, he would say, this is not the end of the story. There's so much more.
And that's so true. That's absolutely
And
true.
how do you ever tell it all?
Yeah.
It's hard.
I don't know.
John, we got about a minute left in this segment here, and
John Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, I really missed you a lot. I love Peggy to death.
But he knows I don't have
She
a
don't
clue.
know anything about football,
Totally clueless.
And I know you've talked to Coach Olive. Quick comment
I'll
about
stay out
it.
of this conversation.
They have some good skill players that are back this year. They fortunately have two young quarterbacks that are capable of playing, and they both will receive a lot of playing time. It's that way. If one of them gets hurt, there's somebody else. I think they're a little bit short in the line play because they graduated a lot of those great big old boys.
Yes, right.
And we've been fortunate for about the past 3 years to have a herd, because that's what those big guys are on the line. It's a herd of them coming through, and I think he needs some of his younger players to step up in that situation, because 2 or 3 injuries in high school football with key people and makes a huge difference. And of course, with a town like Tullahoma, I think last year we had 52 or 3, and this year we're out playing, and this year we're in the mid 40s. So a lot of people don't play ball anymore.
And why is that, I wonder?
Well, they do other things.
Just do so many other things.
And
Soccer
even with Tullahoma, as big a football town as it is, it's still hard to find the people who, and like John said, I'm not doing a good enough job recruiting the hall. And that's what coaches do. They walk up and down the hall
and you find somebody that would fit the bill.
Say, how come you're not playing football?
Right.
Don't you know that's got to be tough on a high school football coach?
Sure.
When he really needs some people, and he's walking down there, and here's some kid 6'5" and 275 pounds, and he's not interested in playing football.
He's changing motors in a car.
There you go.
Right. He's wanting to drive fast. Look pretty.
I'm sure it's tough. Same thing happens in music. You have to go out and recruit those that actually can carry a tune when you want to build a chorus. That's important.
Exactly correct. And the thing about it is not all of it's free.
You're right.
I can remember when I played football, you didn't have to buy anything.
You just
they
went.
gave you your socks, your underwear. They gave you T-shirts, shoes, pants. You didn't have to buy anything.
And now you have to buy.
Now you have to buy a lot of that stuff. And if you're like singers, you say, oh, well, anybody can be in the band or anybody can be in singers. Well, no, they can't, because it takes about $2,500, $3,000
at least
worth of clothes and travel expenses and stuff like that. So it's not something that just anybody can do. Sports are a little bit more that accessible, I think, than music and band.
Probably.
My daughter's probably getting a payback from when some of the, not necessarily that specific thing, but from when she was growing up, and you fund all those kind of things because, fortunately, Jennifer always was a flute player. That was what she always wanted to do.
And a good one.
But
she's an incredible flute.
She is. Yeah.
But Abigail, our oldest granddaughter, I forget what she's into now, but she's been through violin and some wind instrument. I don't know. She's into something now, but she's been through 3 or 4.
And she's very talented
trying to decide on what she wants to do. And every time you do that, you got to buy something new.
You got to buy something.
Yeah, that's right. So.
But that's something you can sell back.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. You can usually sell.
Have a little resale value.
And you can get really good instruments on eBay. Mm-hmm. If you research.
Yeah.
Well, there's not music stores in town, small towns anymore.
I missed that.
Used to.
It's too bad,
go down to the music store and they'd have stuff like that.
They'd fix your instrument and all that kind of stuff. Now it has to happen in house. I guess Greg has to do a lot of that. Repairing, probably.
Yeah, actually, he does do that. Yeah, he does do that. So, folks, we're about out of time for this segment, and we've got several people in the studio. So, I'm going to move along right now and turn this back over to our normal host, John Gray. But we'll be right back right after this, folks.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, LifeCare Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. LifeCare, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Have you heard that little voice that beckons you to come home to Tennessee? Well, here's your chance. Here's a property offered by its owner. It's 20 miles from the National Walking Horse Celebration grounds in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and only 10 minutes away from the Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg. It's located at 769 Shipman Creek Road. This property has over a 5,300 square foot home on 45 acres, and a sprawling 200 acres is also available. Let's take a look at the house. Built in 1998, this home has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. This home offers wide open views, featuring the main floor with over 2,700 square feet of living room, an eat-in kitchen, a formal dining area, and a massive 20 by 19 master bedroom with a master bath and fireplace included. There is craftsmanship at every turn, solid cherry cabinets, built-in cherry shelves, and other solid cherry appointments. It's a 2-story home with 3 nicely sized bedrooms upstairs. Down a spiral staircase, the basement hosts a 40 by 40 den with a handcrafted bar. We're leaving the jukebox here, folks. The basement is a recreation room on steroids. There are too many closets to count and more than you'll ever need. There are so many places in this home to find peace that you'll seldom want to leave it. But when you do, you'll discover up to 200 acres of paved roads with city water. The property is quilted with streams, woods, ponds, and open pasture. The view from the porch alone is enough to say you're home. The property includes a 3-bay heavy construction shop and plenty of room to build stables and graze livestock. If Tennessee's been calling you home, start your journey by calling this number. A property like this comes on the market but once in a lifetime. We think you'll love it. We think you'll stay. This is a very real estate.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Hey folks, we're back, and I was over across the street from our studio here on Wilson Avenue at Southern Sundays about a month and a half or 2 months ago. And I saw these lovely 2 young women in there smiling, and they were like we were looking at gelatos, what we were doing. And these young ladies are Sister Sumbat.
Sister Jarvis.
And Sister Jarvis, and they are with the Church of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. And all my life,
I've seen guys, a lot more guys than girls, in dark pants and white shirts with a backpack, riding bicycles and a little tie. And I'm wondering, how do these people get to Tullahoma, Tennessee, and what are they doing? I understand to a certain extent, and so I thought, particularly these two beautiful smiles, I thought it would be a good thing to do to bring these young ladies on and just ask some questions about how do you get here? And where are you from?
I'm from Utah.
Okay, and where in Utah?
Bountiful. It's right next to Salt Lake.
Bountiful.
Yeah.
Bountiful. Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from a little town called Grants Pass, Oregon.
Grants Pass?
Yes.
Like in Ulysses S. Grant Pass?
I don't think it's named after him, but yeah, it is Grants Pass.
Grants Pass.
Yeah, it's in southwestern Oregon.
All right, so Oregon, Utah, Tennessee. And how do you get here? Explain the process of what you do and the decisions you make to cause two lovely young ladies to leave their comfort zone and wherever you're from and end up spending, it's like a mission period for you, right?
Yeah.
And how long is that period?
18 months.
18 months. Okay, so what led you from where you were to here?
Well, so I was going to school before, and I never really thought about a mission because in our church it's not required for you to go. It's your own decision. And I just saw what this gospel or this church brought me, how much joy it brought me, and I wanted to share it with others. So what you do is you fill out paperwork. It's like medical information just to make sure you're healthy enough to go. And then you submit in your papers, and like 2 weeks later, you get a call from like the President Monson. He's a prophet. We believe in prophets, and he prays about where to send us, and so we get a call in the mail 2 weeks later, and it says where we're going. So we both got called to Tennessee.
Okay, and when that process, same process for you?
Yeah.
When that process takes place, when you make that decision to do this, it happens that quickly? I mean, you said 2 weeks, and a month, from the time you make the decision, you're gone?
For me, it was quite a bit longer than that. I was pretty far in my program at school, and
what were you studying?
Theater.
Theater?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can see that by looking at your face.
Oh, thanks.
You would either one or both of you, but yeah, I can see that.
Thank you. I love it. It's my passion.
Good.
And I pretty much just got to a point where I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and then I finally asked the Lord what He would have me do.
Right.
And it kind of led to this mission, and I submitted my paperwork. I didn't get my call for a couple months.
Okay.
So I waited a little bit longer, and then
they were waiting on her to come along.
because we needed to teach together.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And so mine was a little bit longer, but it was really neat because when I got my call in the mail, my little brother got his call letter the same day, and so we opened them together. And mine said the Tennessee Nashville Mission, and his says the Olongapo, Philippines Mission. So he's there right now, and doing the same thing.
And I don't. You're never supposed to ask a woman their age, but what? I mean, y'all are what, mid-20s?
I'm 19.
19?
I'm 23.
23, and you said your little brother.
Yes.
And he's how old?
19.
19. So is there a age where you have to be a certain age before you get sent out? And that's...
So for girls, it's 19, and for boys, it's 18.
18,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the youngest you could be.
That's the youngest you can go. Now, who funds this? Does the church write you a check and say, here's your money, you go to Tennessee and spend 18 months, and here's what you're going to live on? Who funds this? Does the church fund it, or do you fund it?
We do. So you or your family has to provide all of the funding. The church doesn't pay you. The church doesn't give you any kind of money. It's all personal funds.
Okay. Now, with that said, I mean, did either of you go about raising funds for this?
Yeah, we both had jobs before we came to save up.
Or 3 jobs.
Or 3 jobs. Huh? There you go. I've been there and done that before. So you have to fund yourself for 18 months. That's, and then when you get to the area like you're here, do you work out of a local church where you are? Is that what you do?
So there are church buildings and
Yes.
congregations in pretty much most towns.
Right.
So there's, one here in Tullahoma and Shelbyville, McMinnville, everywhere. So we work with the congregation here in Tullahoma, and that's where we go to church every Sunday,
Right,
is here
right.
at the church in Tullahoma. But we get transferred around periodically. So I was in Nashville previously before I came to Tullahoma, and so you get transferred around.
So you two won't necessarily be together for 18 months.
Yeah, we will.
Sadly.
I know.
And how long have you been out now?
I've been out 6 months.
And you've been out
I've been out almost a year.
almost a year. Well, how do you feel like everything's going so far? Both of you. I mean, is this what you expected? I know it's a call. It has to be a call. It has to be something that you really want to do, to give up your life and leave what you're doing normally to just leave and go out and do this, plus funding it. So how's it going?
It's going good. I love Tennessee. I love the people here. And it was kind of what I expected, but I don't think you could expect everything,
Right.
And so when I got here, it was kind of like a shock a little bit, but I learned to love it, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't love it.
Right.
It really is a beautiful experience, because not only are you getting to talk about something that's so meaningful to you every day,
Right.
you literally are getting to give your life as an offering to the Lord for 18 months completely. And it's one of the happiest times of my life so far. It really is.
Well, that's really cool. So when you get back after you've done this, and not, like you say, not everybody in the church is required to do this. What percentage of young people do go on a mission? I mean, and I know you probably don't know the exact numbers, but what would you throw a dart at it and say? 50% go? 20%?
I wouldn't feel comfortable putting a percentage on it because I don't know, but I do know we have about 85,000 missionaries worldwide serving right now. And so
That's a bunch.
A pretty good chunk, yeah. I mean, I had two brothers who served, and my dad served a mission. My mom wanted to, but she didn't feel right about it at the time. But I'd say a good amount.
Now, that brings about another question. This is so much fun for me. Is there an upper age limit on when you can have a mission?
For girls, no. You could serve at any time.
So if someone my age, 65 years old, decided at this point in my life I want to go do a mission trip, they can go as well. It's not for young people.
At this point, you'd serve with your wife.
Yeah.
So you'd go as a couple, and you'd serve a mission together.
You mean I wouldn't have an opportunity to go out there and find another woman? meet up with another woman on the road?
Unfortunately.
My wife wouldn't like that anyway.
No, because we work in these teaching companionships.
Right,
There's two of us, and so your wife would be your teaching companion.
Sure. But there's no at any time in a person's life after they're 18 or 19, depending on what gender they are, if they choose to take a year and a half or 2 years of their life and give it to this service, they turn their paperwork in and they can go, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are some age limits. So with sisters, we can go at any time if we're single, like if we're not married, if we don't have a family right now. But for men, there is I think it's the upper 20s. And then after that, like the upper 20s to the senior ages, they couldn't go on their own, but they could go with their wife later. And that's just kind of because when we're at
supposed to be making money.
Raising
supposed to be
kids,
working, raising kids,
family,
doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, I see that we've just about run out of time. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming and sharing with us what you're doing and why you're doing it. I think it's remarkable. I've learned a lot. And I really have, and I hope our audience has learned a lot as well. Thank you for being comfortable in our little town of Tullahoma. We think we have a pretty friendly place, and you know, we people are greeted well, and I'm glad to know you've been treated well.
Yeah.
And just know that anything we can do to help you, let us know. It's a pleasure to have you around.
Thank you so much.
Two beautiful smiles.
It's wonderful to be here.
Yeah.
Folks, with that said, I do hope you learned something, because I did. We'll be right back after these messages. Are you a shoeanista with no place local to find your style? Well, now you don't have to travel any further than Bren's Shoe Boutique, located at the Village on Jackson, 1940 North Jackson Street, Suite 120 in Tullahoma. From funky to formal, you can find the fit and style that will make you smile at Bren's. A shoeanista herself, owner Brenda Kemp offers brands like Rocket Dog, Jessica Simpson, Mia, Nine West, J. Renee, Bandolino, and more. Want that accessory splash that none of your friends have? Bren's offers a selection of one-of-a-kind handbags and jewelry with just the right bling. So if your shoe selection doesn't stack up, find what you've been looking for at a price you can afford at Bren's Shoe Boutique, now open in Tullahoma.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
An annual event started in 1939 will continue on August 20th through August 30th, 2014, when the World Grand Championship celebration will once again be held in Shelbyville, Tennessee at the Celebration Arena. Each year, people come from all over the world to contend for the coveted honor of being crowned World Grand Champion. From the wonderful flat shod to the exciting performance horse, they will fill the ring with the breed's best of the best. The celebration supports local charities, and this year they are asking everyone to come out and support the largest nonprofit event in Middle Tennessee and the 14 charities that depend on this event to fund their cause. Come out and be a part of a family tradition by showing your support to the 76th Annual Walking Horse National Celebration. For ticket and box seat information, call 931-684-5915.
All right, folks, we're back. I was a little bit late, and they're going to work me like a mule. But that's all right. I can handle it. Look at those big, broad shoulders. Or that big belly, whichever one. Don't look at that, though. Well, I don't know. Maybe you should, because I'm here talking to the Fudge Man, and he is from Filiagos, and we're going to talk about bread. We're talking about bread?
We're going to talk about bread. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about charity. We're going to talk about a lot of things.
Oh, well, just tell it. Tell it, brother.
All right. Well, if you've never been to Filiagos, I highly recommend it. Bake our own bread there. I'm the baker. Do it all by hand.
All by hand?
So we're baking our own bread. We're trying to expand the bakery business because Tullahoma does not have a bakery where people can just order some bread, have it fresh made, and get it the next day.
Yeah,
so
no, that's true.
We're starting to
That's a great idea.
And got our usual breads like our hoagie bread, rye bread, sweet potato bread. People can order that, but we also have some off-the-menu item things that people can order, such as pretzel rolls for sandwiches, dinner rolls. We have dessert breads. Strawberry bread's going over real big right now.
Strawberry bread?
Yeah.
Do you have anything like with cheese in the bread or anything like that? You making a cheesy bread?
No, I make a garlic Parmesan roll right now.
There you go. There you go. That's me. Yeah. That's me right there. Well, I'll tell you what, I love Filiago sandwiches, and I always have ever since you've been open. I can't think. What are the ones? Name them?
Well,
I
you
can't
always
remember
get
the
the
name.
Fugasm with tater salad.
Fugasm. That's it. The Fugasm.
And it lives up to its name.
It lives up to its name. It's great stuff. But, you know, the fact that, and you also have music over there as well, don't you?
Oh, yeah. We have live music every Wednesday nights. Big Bob Young and the Biltong Blues Bands comes in and play.
Right.
And anytime you walk into the store, you're going to hear classic rock, maybe some country, maybe some jazz, maybe some blues. Just no telling what type of music you're going to hear playing over the system when you come in.
Yeah, and I know that, is that open mic night sort of?
Yeah.
Wednesday night, I know my brother goes over there.
Yeah, Bob
quite
Young,
a bit,
he
and
leads
people
the band.
Yeah, just people come in and people show up. If you're a player and you want to play, just show up and they'll hand you a guitar and say, here, let's see what you got.
Yeah, or if you want to bring your own didgeridoo, bring that down as well and find a place to jam.
I wonder how many didgeridoos there are in Tullahoma.
I'm guessing less than 2.
Probably so. Probably so. What are your hours over there?
All right, during the week, we open for lunch at 11 and in dinner service at 8:30. On Friday nights, kitchen and bar both stay open a bit later. Kitchen stays open until 10 on Fridays, and the bar stays open till 11.
Okay.
And then Saturdays, we're starting to do karaoke night now.
Ooh.
So that could go, starts at 7 and it can go well on into the evening, trust me.
Okay, now, are you still doing the steak night on Tuesday?
Yeah, and not only are we doing the steak night on Tuesday, we also have steaks available on the menu full time now.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can get a ribeye or New York strip anytime you want one.
And now you... You've got me licking my lips. The name New York strip does something special to me. What's the size of that steak?
8 ounces, but if you ask nice enough, we may be able to cut you one a little bigger.
So if you want a 12-ounce one, you could probably get one cut like that. Well, of course, you'd have to pay for it, extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So charity work. You mentioned charity work, and I know you guys have always been good to bump some money into charities. What do you got looking? What are you doing down the road that way?
All right, there's a couple things that we're doing to work with the community. The first thing is we're working with the St. Barnabas Food Pantry. That's here in Tullahoma. And what they do is they collect food and distribute it out to those who need it throughout the community, regardless of what religious affiliation they have.
Right.
It's all about the community.
Right.
And what we do is if you bring in any can of food, get $1 off any food purchase.
That's great.
And another thing we're doing on Saturdays is 10% of all food sales go to a local charity. The first month we did this, it went to the No Kill Shelter, No Kill Animal Shelter.
Right.
The second month, it all went to Good Samaritan. And this month, we're donating to a program called Partners for Healing.
Right.
And this is a great program that helps give the uninsured people who are working at least 20 hours a week a chance to get health care.
Right, right. Yeah, I know that we've had those people on numerous times, and that's good stuff, man. You're doing good stuff. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you. The do. I love the do. I mean, you talk about a didgeridoo. That's the do right there, man. Check it out. Fudge, Filiagos, food.
Peace, love, and subs.
Peace, love, and subs. That's it. Folks, go see them at Filiagos. I guarantee you'll love the food. We'll be right back after these messages.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
don't risk losing the Social Security disability benefits you have earned. I'm Russell Hedges with Moore & Hedges, attorneys at law. I bring over 25 years of experience and dedication to your case. My Social Security team will walk you through the process. We can increase your chances of winning and maximize the benefits due to you. If we do not win, you will not owe us a fee. Call me, Russell Hedges, with Moore & Hedges, attorneys at law, for maximum returns and minimum concerns.
A world without breast cancer is a world with more birthdays. And signing up for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will help us get there faster. The American Cancer Society invests in groundbreaking breast cancer research, and we're part of every community. In fact, 1 in 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turns to us for support. Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org. Together, we can finish the fight against breast cancer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I was carrying on a little conversation with my next guest before we came back on camera here. And we're pleased to have joining us on Living this morning, Karen Inman. And Karen, this is a walking horse celebration time in Shelbyville, as I'm sure you guys are aware of, because we're doing a lot of programming on that right now. And Karen kind of occupies a very special place, a very special connection with the walking horse industry. And tell us what that is, Karen.
Well, my husband is the CEO of the celebration. And real frankly, Jim, we've been coming up for, I guess, 33, 34 years. We started out, we raised a few colts. We started out in Texas. We came up here every year to the celebration from Texas. We moved to Alabama. We came from Alabama. We moved to Georgia. We came here every year from Georgia back to Alabama. And then about 2 years ago, we came up and we moved here permanently. We had a home here for about 12 years when we rented for a while. Then we purchased a home like many, many horse show folks do. And I have to share with you real quickly that a lot of people in this town don't realize that for those of us that are from different states and sometimes different countries that come in for the horse show, you can't imagine what a thrill it is as you pull into Bedford County. I mean, honestly, your heart goes up in the air. You're like, oh my gosh, we're here. And then you see the Shelbyville sign, and it is so thrilling. People that live here all the time just can't imagine what a thrill it is for all of us. And now we're happy to be a part of the community. We're really thrilled to be here.
And you guys, one of the pitfalls, Karen and I were talking about that a moment ago, it's really a neat thing, and the industry is really lucky to have Mike Inman as the CEO of the celebration.
Thank
you.
And
I mean that sincerely. But one of the best things for Karen was, tell us what that was.
Well, when Michael took the position, one of the things was we could no longer show walking horses, which was hard because, like I said, we'd done it for 30 years. We talked about it, obviously. He came to me and said, let's talk, and we did, and we decided that it was a time for us to give back. Michael took this position. We were very, very happy and successful in the home building business for many, many years. And it was a time to give back. He felt like it was a time when we needed somebody that kind of understood what the horse was going through. And we love the people. We love the horse. We love the industry, and we absolutely love the celebration. And so it's an opportunity to give back, and that's why we're here.
But,
it's truly a love.
But unfortunately,
it's a passion.
Karen can't show her horses anymore. So.
That's right, but I no longer can show. That was something that we gave up. But I do still get to ride, so that's nice.
Yeah, she gets to ride other people's horses.
Right.
Yeah. You were telling me something a moment ago that I did not know. And folks, as I said, we're doing a lot of programming about the walking horse industry right now, and just had a piece on What a Horse, which I know a lot of you folks might have seen, about the Horse Honors, which is one of the, in our opinion, one of the greatest walking horses we've ever seen.
I agree.
And I did not know, but you guys owned that horse.
We sure did. We were the first ones that purchased him from Joe Fleming Stables. Justin Harris was training him at the time, and we had horses with them. And Justin and Joe said, this is a special colt and we'd like you to see him. And we were looking for a horse for myself at the time, and I didn't want a 2-year-old. I wanted something a little more settled. But when Honors came along, that all went out the window. I said, I'd like this 2-year-old. And I actually did get to ride him. Michael and I both rode him at the barn, and he was wonderful. We did sell him before we ever had the opportunity to show him. But he is really, really special. We would come to the barn each day and go. We would leave every time and say, are we horse blind, or is he really doing that? And of course, as you all know now, he is really doing that.
Yeah.
So he's special.
You know, in case you know, a lot of you folks are casual fans of the Tennessee Walking Horse, and it's always nice when we get to connect with you this time of the year. And but you know, a lot of the people in the business are like Karen. They love these animals.
Oh yeah,
absolutely love them.
Love them.
Yeah, they love these horses, and have such an eye that they can tell big time difference between one and the other. I mean,
I have to tell you, I have to give my husband credit for that, because it was Michael's eye. I mean, I loved him too, but Michael said, this horse is special, and of course that is all true. But when they're a gangly 2-year-old, they don't look as special as they do today.
Yeah.
But he was still.
So you have to have an eye for them.
Yeah.
You have to be able to
Jim.
see that sort of
you
thing.
do.
Yeah.
And Michael's had a good eye for many, many years.
Yeah.
We've had good success with our colts. And
what was
it's
the
been
name
a lot
of the last
fun.
horse you showed?
Get Ready.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Get Ready. And I had again out of Joe Fleming's barn and Justin, and we had so much fun with him. And he's with Alan Calloway now. And when we took this position, I had a dear friend, Kathy Zeiss, who purchased him from us for her son to ride, and she has kind of since taken him over because her son's in college still and has a lot of obligations, and so Kathy's enjoying him, and he's still a great horse today, and we wish them a lot of luck at the celebration.
You probably go see him every now and then.
Oh, absolutely, and ride him. We appreciate the Callaways for letting me do that. That's very, very nice.
Karen probably doesn't see her husband a lot in the next 10 days.
No, we are ships passing in the night at this point in time.
But I know,
if I want to see him, I go to the celebration.
Go to the celebration. That's right. But I know that you're busy in your own right doing. I know you guys were instrumental, I think, in doing the ribbon thing to kind of bring awareness.
Well, Virginia, that was the brainchild of Virginia Stewart,
right.
But I certainly did help. We laughed that we walked the streets in Shelbyville together at our age because we had these big ribbons. We looked like little old cheerleaders. I mean, we had these big ribbons that looked like pom-poms, and we couldn't be more happy with the results that we've had from the business people and showing our spectators, because everybody's buying ribbons. As you drive around town, you're going to see the big red and blue and yellow ribbons all over, and it's just to show support, and we're so appreciative of that. And you can get your flag at the celebration to put on your car.
Absolutely.
They're only $10 and they're darling, and we're seeing those all over town too. We couldn't be more thankful, really.
Okay, you know, just in case you forgot, you know, the celebration has a huge economic impact on our immediate area, not just the city of Shelbyville, but Tullahoma, Manchester, Winchester. That's
all of Middle Tennessee, really.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people benefit from the fact that so many people come from out of town into this area.
Yeah.
Big time economic impact. Doing something special for the veterans.
We really are, and that's why I'm here today, Jim, and I want to thank you again for having me.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
sincerely appreciate it. What we're doing is the second Thursday night, which is the first championship night. That's Thursday, August the 28th. We are doing a Veterans Appreciation Night. Let me just segue real quickly and tell you that I grew up in the Vietnam era. So I had friends and family and things that did the Vietnamese thing. And they came home, and a lot of them weren't appreciated the way they should be. And we don't ever want that to happen again.
Absolutely.
I don't care what you did with the military. We appreciate you, because we all know none of us would live in the safe, happy place we do today without them.
Sure.
And we want to show that appreciation. And so that Thursday night, we're going to do a thing. First of all, you know, we'll have our regular opening ceremonies with the flag and the white horse, and that's so much fun, and the invocation. And right immediately after that, we're going to have each branch of the military come in, and we'll have Larry Bright, our organist, will play Anchors Away for the Navy, and you know, all of the different anthems. And then the flag for that branch, and then they'll march behind. I do want we want to invite all of our veterans to participate, please. We are giving you free parking, free entry, and a couple of drink tickets.
Right.
So all you have to let us know is that you want to participate. I would ask, please, if you're watching, let your husbands, your brothers, your sons know to join us. I do need you to call 931-684-5915. That's our celebration number. We need to know what branch you're with, and we'll give you all the particulars about being here. But we really, really want everyone to come. We want everyone to stand up and, excuse me, I'm passionate about this, and show appreciation because we appreciate them.
Absolutely, and I think this is the first time that this particular kind of event has occurred.
It is.
Celebration, how appropriate
It is, and we hope to make it a yearly event. We hope it will grow and grow. I mean, we are going to have some military vehicles on the grounds that night.
Oh, neat.
We hope for a flyover. We're just a little bit late for that. Surprisingly, there's some government cutbacks, but we are hoping that that'll happen in the next couple of years. We want it to grow. It's not going to grow without participation.
Sure.
So we really, really want your participation. And later on that evening, we want them to stay, and we want lots of people to come. We also have a local talent, Shelby Lee Lowe is going to sing. He kind of starts out with Dixie, and he ends up with Lee Greenwood's Proud to be an American.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a heartwarming thing. We'll have a couple of horses with flags under the spotlights. We have a wonderful horse friend named Bob Honeycutt that's driving here from Georgia. We're putting him up because no one can do this oration of Old Glory, our flag, like Bob Honeycutt can. I promise you it'll bring tears to your eye and goosebumps to your skin when you hear this. And he'll do that, and then we'll have Shelby Lee Lowe singing. Later that night, after the celebration's over, we do have a free concert, so we hope that you'll stay for that too, by Shelby Lee Lowe. Again, it's local talent that we want to promote, and he's wonderfully, supremely talented. He just came back from tour, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So we welcome you. We invite you. Please participate and be with us. We really, really want you to.
Okay, that's a great, great tribute planned, and this is on Thursday night.
Yeah, the 28th, the
28th.
second Thursday. The first championship night, so there should be lots and lots of people in the stands.
That's exactly right, and we don't want you to forget that either, because there is a horse show, and it's a special one that night, as you mentioned, because it is championship night.
Right.
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay. All right, Karen, thank you so much
Jim,
for coming by today.
thank you so much. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
We appreciate you guys as well. Folks, get out to that celebration. We'd love for you to go every night, because it's going to be a great celebration.
It's going to be a great show.
And we want you to take advantage of that, especially next Thursday night, August 28th. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment with more living right after this.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
Trucks! Trucks!
The #1 selling truck for 35 years straight, the Ford F-Series, can be found at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester. We have a huge selection of over 100 trucks to choose from, with Ford manufactured rebates and incentives up to $10,000 or 0% financing available. Now is the time to buy. So come on down to Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester, and remember,
trucks! Trucks!
And more trucks! Why buy anywhere else?
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the grand opening for the Unique Boutique, and this is located on Lincoln Street. They've moved into the old coffee building, coffee store. Look at there. Artists around everywhere this morning. Looking good. Isn't that pretty? The Unique Boutique, artisan chic accessories and decor. This is the ribbon cutting for the Chamber of Commerce.
John Gray,
What do you know, man? Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too, buddy.
There's our newly re-elected mayor, Mr. Lane Curley. Good to see you this morning, sir.
Morning.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Pleased to be here. This is a really neat place. This whole block is turning out to be a nice addition to Tullahoma.
Sort of a niche market type.
It's the kind of place you can park and just meander all down through. Have a nice lunch. Have a nice lunch. Buy some gifts and things. Do a little painting, and then get your haircut.
Get your haircut down there, and then go on down. If you stay till Sunday, you can get a sermon. And there's Jennifer right there, the owner and curator of this gallery here.
I am.
How you like your new location?
I love it. It's wonderful. Meeting so many new people, so many new artists here. It's great.
And I see you've got the Baxter over here with you.
I'm here.
How you doing? How's that dog doing?
I'm painting a lot of dogs.
I know you are. I noticed. I've seen them all over the newspaper and the internet and everywhere else.
Well, and I got some at the Celtic Cup this week.
Good for you.
Yeah, got a little showing going over at the Celtic Cup too. So I've got stuff scattered everywhere.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. What a wonderful art community we have here. And thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
I'm just going to wander around a little
Absolutely.
bit, okay?
Go ahead. There you go.
Hi, ladies. Here, isn't this neat?
Yes.
It's wonderful. Look at all the different artists and things that are here. Everything from clothing to painting. Look at that. Isn't that great? Look at that. I love that. Beautiful piece. Then we have a gift wrapping and vinyl cutting department. And we have picture framing in the back. So, you know, you can buy something here. You can have it wrapped here. Look at that piece right there. And then books. You know, so it is a sort of a one-stop shop for all kinds of stuff. Look at all these wonderful mats and frames here where you can bring your stuff down here and have your pictures framed here. And they've just taken this was the R.J. Young shop here on Lincoln Street. And look at all the glass work and jewelry. So you just need to get down here and look at this place because it is very unique. That's why it's called the Unique Boutique, with everything from artwork to, look at those hats, crocheted hats and scarves and wonderful paintings. So come on down and see this. Look at that. Look at those different applique or printed things there. So the Unique Boutique. And, you know, don't get the Mudcat blues. Come on down to the Unique Boutique and buy something new. Located on Lincoln Street in Tullahoma.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
This is a tree that was never chopped down to make a crutch that was never needed. By a child who never got polio. Because vaccine was never in short supply. Thanks to people whose compassion wasn't either. Over the years, Rotary Club members have helped immunize over 2 billion children against polio. Soon, the world will be polio-free. Rotary, humanity in motion.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham, and you're watching Just Plain Living here on Charter Channel 6.
Welcome back. I'm always pleased when Winston Brooks stops in here because he's got so much to tell. Lots of things in
good
fitness.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be back here again. I appreciate you letting me come down and talk to you.
It's always good for you to come because I know that you're trying to get Tullahoma and this region fit.
We are, and we have a lot going on to tell you about today.
Well,
and
let's hear it.
It is so important that people take advantage of their health and don't take it for granted. And you know, the state of Tennessee's health department was gracious enough to give us a grant to kind of jumpstart a lot of these programs. And so there's no excuses for sitting around
and not getting it done.
That's right.
I'm glad that you all have grabbed hold of this and started a lot of programs. You want to tell me about some of them?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing that we've got going on is the upcoming health fair, which will be September 13th on Saturday. That's going to be at Northgate Mall from 9 until noon. It's going to be our third one. We've done it before, so I kind of hope the community is
ready for it?
Ready and knows the routine. It's a great opportunity to come down. They're going to have free health screenings, be able to speak to physicians.
Are you still looking for vendors?
We are still looking for vendors. I appreciate you asking that. This is the Get Fit Tullahoma Urgent Team Health Fair, Fitness Expo, and Green Expo, and we're looking for vendors. So if you're interested in being a vendor, please contact me down at City Hall at 455-2648. That number again, 455-2648.
Maybe they'll put it up for us.
And this event is free.
I was going to say,
free to have a booth.
So you can just have a booth?
Free to participate.
As long as you're having a booth that has to do with fitness, green, or health. And
health vendors, that's right. So we're definitely looking for those folks who would want to come down and offer their services to the community. So in the past, we've had free eye screenings. Partners for Healing will come out and do diabetic screenings, blood pressure checks. And we have the school HOSA group come over and help out with the
chiropractors show up?
Chiropractors show up. We have a massage therapist. We had paddle boards. We've had different other fitness organizations. This year we've got CrossFit coming again to do their demonstration. We've got SNAP coming out.
What is CrossFit?
Well, CrossFit Tullahoma is a unique workout experience. I don't do CrossFit, but these guys, it's a lifestyle, and they're a real family. It's a great organization. They have their focus is movements. It's not like your typical gym where you go in and you would see your typical gym equipment, but they climb ropes and lift tires and do handstands and jumps, and it's really a neat thing to watch. and they'll do a demonstration. They usually set up out there at the mall on the stage.
A lot of that's things you can just do at home without spending a lot of money, I think.
Well, that's right. But the CrossFit organization, part of their program is the accountability and ability to go down and have that accountability in a group setting, and they have coaches down there. So that's what's coming up September 13th, and this time the mayor. This is all based on Mayor Curley's initiatives to kind of help the community
help get fit.
Right, because of the prevalence of diabetes and obesity, and the other initiative that he started was the Green Tullahoma, or Think Green Tullahoma.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, which is about sustainability and trying to make people think differently about recycling and their energy use. And so this time we've invited green vendors to come to the mall and join us. And so if you're interested, you have a product or service, come down and we'll have a booth set up for you. So we've got Light Tube's going to be there. I mean, or Light Tube and TUB talking about ways to save energy. Duck River hopefully will come down and talk about their water usage. We've got Keep Coffee County Beautiful will be joining us, as well as the high school green team will be out there.
Sounds like
talking
a huge
about.
event.
It's going to be a great event.
Do you remember how many came last year?
Oh, well, yes. I do.
That's
and
good.
We had about 32 vendors last time.
That's good.
And we had about 350 participants.
Now, if
come through.
You want them to call if they want to set up another vending place. Do they have to bring like their own table and their chairs?
No, actually, we provide
You
two
provide
tables.
that too?
I mean, one table and two chairs.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
All you do is bring your things,
yes.
set it down.
You just bring and decorate your booth, as I like to call it. And I'll send out some details, and people can always call me and get more information. But when we'll be there, we'll be announcing the pedometer, the grand prize pedometer challenge winner, because the pedometer
Good.
challenge is
Do you
going
have
on.
one?
I've got mine, and I don't want to report how many steps I've got today because it's not very many. And
well, there's a long day left.
That's right. But we've also, a couple other things that you want to mention before I know we have to go soon, is we've got another great event coming, Couch to 5K. And so we've partnered with Mach 10. Have you run a 5K lately, Peggy?
No, I haven't. But I do walk.
You do
every
walk?
day, every day, believe it or not.
Do you know how far you walk?
I don't, because I don't really keep up with it. I know that I do a mile, calculated on the treadmill, but as far as the rest of it, I don't keep up with it. But that might be good.
Yeah, well, that's all it takes is just doing it a little bit every day. But we've got a Couch to 5K coming up. We've partnered with Mach 10 Running Club, and it's going to start August 25th out at the high school at 6:30 on Monday evenings. And if you'll show up out there and sign up, you're going to have some experienced runners. They'll talk about nutrition, about stretching, and then they'll put you through it's not a scary program to get you up to walking or running.
And I think starting in small steps and building up and building up.
That's it. It just takes a little bit and just gets out there. And there's also the accountability. So you go out there and these folks will be there keeping you honest. And at the end, you'll run the Jack Dash. And so if you complete the Jack Dash, you'll...
that's in Lynchburg?
That's in Lynchburg, yep. And that's the only cost associated with that program is the entry fee to the Jack Dash. It's $25.
$25, and goes for a good cause. And look what you've done for yourself.
Right.
That's the beauty of it, I think.
That's right.
Okay, there's a lot going on in Tullahoma.
There's a few more things. You want me to tell you the rest of it?
Yeah, I want you to tell it all.
I want to get my whole time here.
All right.
No, I just wanted to mention that there is out of East Middle School where we've built a new facility. There's the new walking trail. There's the new disc golf course. But it's also becoming a little hub of activity. So this fall we'll have Lose to Win will be coming up.
Good.
So if you're interested in signing up for that, give me a call, check the website, and then there's also a bike mentor program coming up. So if you're a student at East Middle or East Lincoln Elementary or Robert E. Lee, look for some applications that'll be coming out soon and sign up for that. And so there's all kinds of opportunity to get fit. Just look at our Facebook page or give us a call at City Hall.
And none of this costs money. You don't have to go pay somebody to get fit.
That's exactly right.
And that's wonderful.
And one more thing, Peggy, I do want to mention. This is a little change in the subject a little bit, but August 26th, we're going to have a community meeting at City Hall upstairs, 5 o'clock, for the National Make a Difference Day. And so come out if you want to learn more about that. It's a great program.
That's a nice thing to do.
It is.
To make a difference.
Yes.
You certainly have made a difference in this community. Thank you, Winston. They're going to run us off, but if you've got one last word, jump in there. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Peggy.
Keep up the good work. We'll be back with more of Living.
It's a Kia Cadenza kind of day at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. This luxurious Kia has too many features to mention, with prices starting as low as $33,943. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. We have a huge selection to choose from here at Russell Barnett Kia, and mention this ad and receive an additional $500 off your next Kia Cadenza purchase. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
The highest standard of integrity delivers stability and honor. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of integrity in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
If you happen to know Jim Zanan, who's the pastor at Christ Community Church in Tullahoma, you won't be surprised to know that he's best friends with a ventriloquist and also with oh my gosh, with a cartoonist. And recently they did an event at Christ Community Church, and it's Ray Cooper as a ventriloquist and the cartoonist is Ron Wheeler. We're going to get a little bit of info about that right now.
Hey, what should we do? We'll do the old steam train. How about that? Yeah. Okay, we'll do the old steam train. Here we go. I'm floating again. I miss your seat. What are you doing? I'm taking a big breath because it's like a big train. Oh, okay, here we go. Are you going to pop? No. Is that be cool? No, we're not. A good act to follow. No. We haven't started yet. Well, hurry up, I've got a train to catch. Any more bass? Are you sure you're not going to pop? Yes. How about that? Not bad. It's really strange using other people's sound system. That's quite weird, but at least I didn't blow your speakers, so that's all right. One more, Granddad, but before we do, two things. I need you to help me with this last sound, okay? Sure. And I also need you to tell me what's your favourite book in the whole wide world. We won't talk about it for too long, but what is it? That's easy. What? The Bible. The Bible. Yeah. That's good. Are you a Christian? No. This is a church, isn't it? I'm not. Why? I'm just a puppet. What? I'm just a puppet. Oh, didn't you realise? Your hand is moving around. Yeah, he's just a puppet, so he's not a Christian. But you do love the Bible? Sure. Why do you like the Bible? It's got awesome stories. Yeah, like what? It's got adventure stories. Is that right? War stories. War stories. Spy stories. Yeah, that's got spy stories. Pardon? Icky Wicky love stories. Shh. Well, it's got love stories. But what's the best part? It shows us the way to God. Is that right? It helps us to start a relationship with God. Eh? The Bible's living, it's real. And they're not just stories, they're things that really did happen, which is pretty cool, I reckon.
All right, this is what I want you to do. You stand in front of this thing. And now, are you right-handed or are you left-handed? Right. Then hold this with your left hand. Now, do you draw with your eyes open or your eyes closed? Well, now draw with your eyes closed when I say go. What I want you to do is I want you to give me a scribble. This is the Holy Spirit guiding you. Ready? Okay. Just give me a scribble. Ready, set, go. Stop. Perfect. You are done. Did that hurt? Didn't hurt at all, did it? Okay. You felt really weird. All right, great. You can have a seat now. Yeah. Well, this is what I think it looks like.
What's wrong?
A person with some really bushy eyebrows. And make it a boy or a girl.
Boy, girl, girl, boy. No, it should be my papa. He's Indian. That's good. That's not a girl, that's a man.
Okay, if that doesn't look like a girl, I don't know what it is.
It looks like a foot with a head.
A foot with a head? Maybe we ought to add some more details here. Give her a nose ring. Maybe a little drip off the end of the nose. A little drool coming off the mouth. Grandma? It looks like your grandma? She said, just in her defense, she said Grandma and Little Red Riding Hood, right? Okay, see, it wasn't. So if this is being recorded anywhere, I just want that going on the record. There, it's your turn. Opposite hand. Opposite hand. You were left-handed? Oh, okay. Close your eyes. Ready, set, go. Stop. Oh, that looked like the last one. Yeah, let's delete that. All right, ready, set, go. That looked like the last one. No, that's fine. Great. That's pretty great. Okay, now, what does this one look like? Yeah, what do you think?
Somebody yelling with a big mouth.
There you go. It looks like somebody yelling with a big mouth. I'm going to give him some teeth. Oh, wow.
It looks like a rock star.
A rock star. Well, there you go. That looks like somebody yelling with a big mouth.
It looks like my
Do we say Steve Tyler or Jagger or something? Okay.
Now, he's my papa trying to put a lollipop in his mouth.
That's a microphone. Okay. And this is a musical note, so you know it's music. Okay, it's one of the little things you can do as a cartoonist. If people don't understand what you're drawing, you add things to make sure they understand it. All right, who's my third volunteer? Oh, it's Kathy. Come on up, Kathy. That isn't Kathy, somebody said. Ready? You can sit down if you want. Might be a little easier. Opposite hand, close your eyes. Now, remember, when I was introduced to you out there, I was really nice to you, wasn't I? I didn't pick on you, and there's no reason for you to give me a difficult scribble whatsoever, right? Okay, ready, set, go. Oh, that's pathetic. Oh, that's getting worse. Wait a minute, stop. Okay, all right, you may sit down. And I was so nice to you. Well, you know what? We will ignore the obvious in this, okay? Okay. Well, I can't help but think this looks like a duck bill. And I guess the only thing we can do is make these into eyeballs.
Okay, that would be a very pretty duck. I'm not kidding.
Maybe
That's a creepy dog.
somebody has this duck around the neck. And he's going whack.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
Today's Charter tip, set up your parental controls. Children don't always know what they should and shouldn't watch, but parents do, and Charter can help. Charter's parental controls are easy to set up. All you need is a 4-digit PIN. Then you can lock specific titles, channels, and show ratings. Even hide program titles and block paid programming purchases. Family protection in just 4 digits. Another way Charter gives you more. Visit charter.net/tips to get started.
Okay, folks, what we're going to do today is we're going to end the show with one of Bob Couch's Millennium Moments. And what I want to do here is, when I went to talk to Bob at Couch's store about asking him to marry Fran, when I got through with that, this is what I wrote. Wisdom filled the eyes that looked across that old oak desk. He quietly listened as I got my feelings off my chest. I said, I love your daughter, but love's all I have to give. And I'll remember what that old man said as long as I live. He said, a full house ain't worth nothing if you're playing solitaire. I know you want to give her all you can, but sometimes the things that success brings can get in the way of the love between a woman and a man. You know, money can't buy happiness, even if you're a millionaire. A full house ain't worth nothing when you're playing solitaire. Those rings and furs, the his and hers, fancy cars, antiques untold, don't turn a house into a home when there's no one there to hold. You know, money can't buy happiness even if you're a millionaire, and a full house ain't worth nothing when you're playing solitaire.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Bob Couch, we'll miss you, buddy. We love you. And we'll be back next week.
Good morning, all you wonderful people in TV land. Thank you, lady photographer and gentleman photographer, for putting a real good, sharp, clear, contrasty, colorful picture on the screen. Isn't this a wonderful day, August the 1st, and this is the day many, many people have been looking for, and the polls open early, and I think they're there till 6 or 7 o'clock, and if you haven't been out to vote yet, well, let's get on with it. Which brings me to some real fun, interesting, I think, historical moments that I remember even before I was old enough to vote. I do recall that people would, voters would register, and they'd check their name off when they went to the polls and make sure that they were residents of a particular district or precinct, and they would write out on, I think, on a tablet paper in pencil who they were for, and they'd write their name down and put an X by it, you know, and then later came the printed ballot, and the only precinct in Tullahoma that I recall in the beginning was at the City Hall, where the fire truck was kept, and they'd roll the fire truck out of the garage there that was in the back room of the City Hall, and put up some little wooden like portable telephone booths for the voters to do their thing, and would put it in a big can that they'd cut the top out of for a slot for the ballots to go in. And when the polls were closed, well, they'd gather around a table and hand count every one of them. And sometimes they would run to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I remember there was a big turnout in 1953 when Frank Clement was running for the governorship, and one of the biggest voter turnout in the history of Tennessee. And they were still, they didn't have a mechanical voting booth yet, but they had to count them by hand. And I think they even had some gentlemen they would call in to be judges during the count, and they all went to sleep, of course, around 11 or 12 o'clock, and the counters kept counting. And I think on that particular occasion, they got through about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But they've come a long way now, and with the redistricting of the population and the precincts in Tullahoma. And let me recall some of the early other precincts were the Lions Club on Avoca Road. There was one of the biggest precincts for many years. And the old high school on East Lincoln Street was one of the voting places for a while, and of course downtown was too. And then when they built the D.W. Wilson Community Center, it has been a voting precinct, and I don't know how the precincts are divided, but there's one there now, and we voted there for many years. And more recently, when they sent out the new registrations and the voting information, our precinct is now at the First Christian Church at the corner of Grundy and Jackson Street. And there's a precinct, I'm assuming, still at the Bel Air School, and I think there's one at the C.D. Stamps Community Center. I know that the early voting took place at the C.D. Stamps Community Center, which was a great asset and convenience to the people that wanted to vote early. And many people, I understand, have voted early. And it's a convenience if they're going to be out of town or have problems getting to their usual precinct voting spot. So we'd encourage everybody to get out early and vote, and it'll be interesting to see the results. It's been an interesting race, and probably one of the most publicized races in many years. And I wonder if the P-Head Production is going to have the night of the election have the results broadcast, and that will be interesting too. So we urge you to tune in to Channel 6 and see the results as they come in. And you know, with the new voting machines, it used to take days and weeks to get the final results, but now with the voting machines, it's just a matter of time, short time, for the results to get in. One or two of the more rural precincts comes in a little bit later than others, but I think within a couple of 3 hours after the polls close, while the total results are in. And speaking of results in a presidential race, it's interesting that since there's such a big time difference between the East Coast and the West Coast, the national voting authorities asked the media not to give the results on the East Coast until the West Coast had already done their thing, because if the media would give the results on the East Coast 2 or 3 hours before the West Coast voted, a lot of people would go with the apparent winner on the East Coast. So they discontinued that service, but it is a good service to have the results of our local voting to be broadcast as early as it is. We appreciate P-Head Productions for doing that as a community effort, and we all need to go out and exercise our right to vote. Isn't it wonderful that we live in a country that we can vote for and elect our own officials? And we sure do thank you for watching today. Be sure and go to the polls, and we'll be looking for you next week. And remember, this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. And stay tuned. We'd love to share it with you. Thank you, and have a good day.